Welcome, everybody, to episode 10 of the Canuckleheads podcast. My name is Justin. I'm joined by my co host, Mr. Wes. And unfortunately, we are back to talk about the Canucks again.
Yep.
We had 3 games to cover this week. The first one was November 21st against the Chicago Blackhawks. We were in Vancouver for this one. Thatcher Demco got the start. We had a good shift from Pud Colson, who, like we mentioned in the last episode, just keeps getting better and better. One of the few bright spots this year has been Pod.
Sure.
So please, Vasily, keep up the good work for something positive to watch in these games.
Please.
But yeah, he just had a good shift towards the end of the first. Stole the puck from a couple D-men and set up a good chance. At the end of the first in this one, it was a really pretty solid first period. We even had a penalty kill, so that's always a plus, which is sad to say. Early in the season, that killing a penalty is something to be noted.
But with the way our penalty kill has been, we really notice when we don't get scored on a penalty kill.
Yeah. So in the second, the professor, Brock Besser, rung one off the bar, which was the theme in this one. I believe we had 5 posts in this game. So
5 big ones, and those all could have been goals. It's a game of inches. Really wish all 5 of those would have went in for the dub, but sometimes that's how it goes. Bounces don't go your way.
And again, I have odds looked very good. He threw a big hit on Seth Jones, I believe it was. Somebody else hit Seth Jones too and almost benched him. I don't remember who that was. I
can't remember who absolutely dialed him.
It was Mott, I think, actually.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Mott, but yeah, got Jones pretty good.
Yeah, it was either Pod Colson or fucking Niels Höglander. I can't remember who it was, but I was hyped when it was behind the net, absolutely buried Seth Jones. I thought he was done for the game after that. When he got up and skated to the bench like a true warrior, though, that was a huge hit.
And one thing I noted too here, the team looked like they're starting to steal some of the Connor Garland spin moves. In this game in particular, I haven't noticed it so much later in the week as we'll go over, but just it seemed like every other shift or like every handful of shifts, somebody was throwing out a Connor Garland spin move. So and which I like because he's again been one of our better players. But
100%.
The way he moves in the offensive zone really frees up space for himself. So if the other guys start doing it, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like he's starting to kind of work his way as a kind of a core piece in this team already.
Which, I don't know if you heard the Spit and Chicklets interview with Connor Garland.
I thought you were going to tell me the knock on Connor Garland.
No, that's done. That's done. I won't mention it again. No, the Spit and Chicklets interview with Connor Garland, it was really, really awesome. He kind of just was letting them know about his stick length. Throughout his minor career, he used a lot longer of a stick, but now he's been shortening it up, and he feels like it's better for his game. He said he feels like his shot has been better, more accurate, so that's good as well. He feels like the power kind of dialed down on the shot a little bit, but he said he doesn't have a huge clapper anyway, so
that's not what we saw last week.
No, but for sure, but he'd rather have the little bit of stick handling advantage over guys, which that's what you see out of him, right?
Yeah,
he cuts those tight angles and really handles the puck well, so it's working for him.
And the sharp moves he makes too, he never loses a puck.
No.
And if he does, he's so tenacious that he gets it right back.
Yeah.
OEL hit the post. Yes, I have it here. It was Pud Colson with the big hit on Seth Jones.
Okay, I was just trying to look it up on YouTube. Yeah. That's why I was on my phone. I was like, I have to get this right. Nailed him. It was crazy.
Yeah. Then we had an interesting combination here. I don't know if this was on purpose or if it came after a penalty or something, but it was Petey, Garland, and Pud Colson, and they had a monster shift. They controlled play for a good 40, 50 seconds.
Yep.
And then the next line, I don't remember who it was, but the next line rolled out too, and same thing. We had the puck in Chicago zone for a long time.
Yep.
But yeah, a really good second period. Canucks controlled majority of the play.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard to really take anything positive from it because Chicago's not in a great situation either. They're not a good team either. So.
No.
Then to start the third period, Tanner Pearson hit the post. Good job, Pierce.
Yeah, it was a theme through this whole game.
And Miller just had a pass in the D zone, which led to a penalty. And again, we're not being smart with the puck in the worst spot. there are certain areas where you can make a risk with the puck, right? Like as frustrating it is in the offensive zone, like you can take a risk with it there.
Yeah.
Down low, like when in the offensive zone again, like you can do something risky with the puck. But in your end, just get it out.
Yeah.
Just make the safe play. But
exactly.
Thankfully, Chicago didn't score on this penalty. Our penalty kill didn't let in a goal, which was nice. But Canucks wound up losing this one 1-0.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you hit 5 posts in a 1-0 game, it's extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
We definitely could have won that game, but also Fleury was lights
Fleury
out.
was good.
He was lights out. Even the cross creasers, he was just swallowing them up, and he looked great. So sometimes you run into a hot goalie, that's going to happen. But he was rubbing those posts all night. He could have had 5 potted on him. It's just we didn't have our shots quite dialed.
And I think I mentioned this in the last episode too, but Marc-Andre Fleury has not lost the Canucks in regulation since 2008.
Yeah,
that's insane. Like 2008
doesn't make sense. But
no.
Yeah.
So yeah, should have saw that one coming, I guess, with Fleury starting, but we were optimistic, like the fools we were.
Yeah.
Now we're just calloused old Canucks fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-0 loss in Vancouver. Again, like this one sucked because I felt like we were the better team. Those 5 posts are just amplified from not scoring a goal, so that jumps out at you even more. Just like it's hard to even give them positives for like, oh, this was a step in the right direction again, like you've been saying all year. Like it's just we're done with that.
That's the thing. You can say that for a little while until you keep going on these 5-game losing streaks, and it's like, okay, we're done with that. We're done having sympathy for the boys. It's time to get dialed.
Yeah, like we can tell you that they should have won this game all we want, but
they didn't.
They didn't.
Yep, that's the bottom line.
Then we were in Pittsburgh, November 24th, 2021. Thatcher Demco starts again. Tyler Mott was on a line with Bo Horvat and Tanner Pearson, which I like.
Go.
It's nice to see Mott get some promotions because I don't think he's really played past the third line on our team at any point. So
no, and I don't want to make any comparisons with him and Niels Höglander because they're completely different players. But Mott has that same type of hustle and tenacity.
Yeah.
And that's what you like to see when you play a guy with Bo, because Bo has that same type of hustle. Pierce, he makes big hits and he's down to dig in the corners. It's just he doesnn't always win those battles.
He doesn't have that. It doesn't look like he's hustling. Like,
no, yeah, he looks
like it. He's playing hard and everything, but like Höglander looks like he's playing hard. Yeah. Miller looks like he's playing hard for the most part.
The 2 things that I noticed about Pearson that I like the most about him on Bo's line is he's not afraid to whack the goalie in front of the net.
Yeah.
He's okay with taking a cross check to the back or taking a big hit, a couple punches to the head maybe. And not a lot of guys are willing to do that. And he makes big hits. It's just I've really not been seeing those board battles out of him, which is kind of important on that line.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're so just they have to have Pierce and Bo together. That's done. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, I think those two. That's kind of the one thing that's been a constant through all the line.
Why? Like I don't see why. I think you put Pearson on the third line for now, and just reward the guys that are playing well. Put them with Bo. Maybe Garley and Pods with Bo. Even just try something new for Bo Horvat. We've seen that power move in the next game.
Yeah.
Like that type of stuff, that's what Bo needs to be playing with right now, not like that guy that can't win a board battle.
Even just some speed, right? Like Pearson's not a fast guy. I haven't really noticed him like losing a step, but speed has never been Pearson's game. So it's just at this point in his career, it's just a matter of time now, right? Like he's 29 going on 30. Like
yep. And I'm not chirping Pierce too hard here. Like we love Pearson.
Yeah, he's just a good, solid player.
Yeah, he is. It's just that Bo Pierce combo. We're not winning.
Yeah.
Do away with it. It's not working. Like don't be in love with that matchup. I'm not in love with it. Just get rid of it.
Yeah. So in the first period here, Thatcher Demco was amazing. The Canucks gave up a ton of high-scoring chances, and it was 0-0 after the first. This could have been like the Colorado game where it was just over after the first period, over 11 minutes into it. So,
but then that's kind of been the theme as well this entire season. Thatcher Demko holding us in the game again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we've had some tough losses, but it could have been a lot uglier.
100%.
So into the second period, the Vancouver Canucks take a penalty, and the Pittsburgh Penguins score a power play goal 1 minute in. So,
Not very fun to watch.
No surprise there. In the second, everything just kind of fell apart for the Canucks. We gave up 3 goals, and yeah, like that power play goal, and it's such like kick in the teeth because it'll just be a shot from the point that goes in, and it's just like the Canucks, that happens so much from the Canucks where it's just like just shoot, and it's like they won't take notes of that. Be like, hey, we'll just pass it around for 45 minutes and then we'll take a shot and see what happens, and then it'll get blocked, and yeah,
which is no fun. But I thought you were gonna say kick in the bag, and you said kick in the teeth. It had a lot more punch to it. I like that.
But yeah, it just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just there's so many things about this team. Like, you just feel when they're gonna get scored on almost, right? Like when they take a penalty, you're like, hey, here comes a goal.
You see it coming, and it's sad because I'm sure Thatcher Demco sees it coming. He's playing to the best of his ability, but he's getting no help.
Yeah. So into the third period, Bo scored a goal here. It was a really nice goal. There was 5 minutes left to make it 3-1. So, like, a little too late.
Yeah.
But, like, you won't take any credit away from him because it was a great goal.
Yeah.
Cut in front and had a dirty backhander. So.
And that's the thing. Like, our texture in that game were pretty negative, to be honest. And then Bo makes that move. I'm like, yeah, like, Bo Scoreback gets another one, but it's like at the end of the day, it's too little too late.
Yeah.
It's not that exciting. It was nice to see him make a power move. He's been kind of pushing that type of game a little bit more recently, which is nice because I feel like he knows he has to step up.
Yeah.
And he does as the captain of this team. He has to lead the boys and show them that's how you score a goal. Let's go out and keep doing that. And he is trying. I love to see it. It's just we need a little bit more.
Yeah. So the Penguins scored at the end of this one. So 4-1 Pittsburgh.
And I just want to touch on one thing, too. I said Thatcher Demko's playing to the best of his ability, and he is, but I still don't think he's reached that playoff level like he did against Vegas. I think like that he hit like final form right there. And
Super Saiyan?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that out of him yet, but it's not playoff time. So I don't think we will see it until if we ever make it back to the playoffs.
Oh.
But I would like to see him go on a stretch of kind of trying to hit that final form. He has been playing great, don't get me wrong, but we definitely haven't seen him the way he was in that series.
Well, and the thing with Demko too is he is what he is, right? And so there's no more questions with him.
No, everything is answered.
There was the bubble, and like that was a different team, different circumstance, and everything. It looks like it was a better team at this point now.
Yeah.
But he did it last year too, where he was ridiculous, and now he's been amazing the whole year. Like Demko hasn't had a bad game.
I think save of the year, that foot save where he's laying on his belly,
without a blocker.
Yeah, who else is going to beat that? I don't think anybody. Thatcher Demko's lights out. It's just the way our boys are playing in front of him, not helping him out.
Yeah. 4-1 loss in Pittsburgh for the Canucks on this one. So we're on to the next game in Columbus. This was Friday night. I did not write down the date. What was Friday? The 25th?
I'll just look it up on my phone here real quick just so we get it right.
But yeah, Thatcher Demko in net again, which I think, A, he is their starter, but B, this might be Green trying to do his best to save his job as much as I don't want to even really think of that, but yeah.
Internet on my
But yeah, the Canucks got lucky in this one. Columbus scored in the first minute, but the Canucks challenged and it was offside. So. And like anytime you have to put it up to a review, I'm always like, this is gonna count against it. It's gonna be a negative thing for the Canucks.
Get a penalty.
Just the way it always feels. I'm sure the fans of other teams feel the same way too, right? Like, but yeah, could you imagine if they scored in the first minute in this game, like after losing so many in a row?
That's a kick to the bag.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I was like, hey, maybe this is the break they need. Maybe it'll be like, okay, shit, that didn't happen. Let's get rolling. But and on that goal that was disallowed, like Tyler Myers, it just had a very bad. This is the opposite end of the Tyler Myers scale we've been seeing for the most part of this season. He was awful all game. He turned away from the defenseman as he cut into the middle of the ice, which I don't understand any aspect of that. I don't know what he was thinking. He got lucky that it wasn't a goal. So yeah, there's that. The Canucks gave up the first goal while they were on the power play, so got scored on shorthanded. So again, special teams coming into play on this one.
Real quick interruption. You see how fast the Brews are going down on this one? Because it's such a negative vibe. Like, come on here. This is terrible.
This was a bad week.
We need wins. Bottom line, we need wins. Anyway.
So we had a goal from Vasily Podkolzin, his fourth of the year, scored with 30 seconds left in the game. And again, this was just him shooting a puck past the goalie. There was nothing fancy. It was just
complete snipe.
Yeah, this guy can shoot a puck, and we kind of need to see more of it. And
it's like it's not quite Petey-esque because Petey just like hits the complete corner of the bar and it just looks special.
When Petey is rolling,
yeah,
it's not Petey-esque.
No, for sure, but it's definitely special. It's almost like how Brock was shooting the puck when he first came to the team. It's just a beautiful wrist shot most of the time, and I just love the way he shoots the puck.
Petey definitely does have like a very specific motion in his wrist shot when he's on his game.
Petey's, it's alien-like. That's why
it's very like smooth and
yeah, and just the way he snipes, just perfect corner bar. His shot is something else, and we need to see him get that rolling.
Yes, but yeah, he just ripped it past Merzlikins there.
Yeah.
So the end of the first was 1-1. On to the second. We had a goal from Tyler Mott. So it's nice to see him. That was his first of the year. It's nice to see him getting goals and he's playing good like he always does.
I love seeing Motter get rewarded because he always puts 110% into every shift. He's always battling, always great on the PK. So whenever he gets a goal, I always celebrate.
Yeah. So it was just a point shot from Quinn Hughes that he tipped in. So
yeah.
Good effort battling in front of the net, not getting pushed out of position. Mott's not a big guy, but yeah,
he battles.
Good goal from him. Again, there were just plays I noticed from Myers that didn't lead to anything, but just I could tell right away from that first goal that we were going to have a Tyler Myers night.
Yeah.
And another play that stands out to me is he was in the corner kind of by Demco. I don't remember who his D partner was, but he threw it to the boards. So instead of just going to it, Myers went and cut in front of Demco to go get it, which I like.
Doesn't make sense.
No, he just killed a couple seconds for himself to get to the puck, and then Columbus picks it up.
And this is another thing about Tyler Myers that I feel like when you switch up his D partners, it all goes south for him specifically. You have to keep a solid D pairing for him because I feel like his D partner can get a sense of how his game is that night and kind of try and make up for his mistakes because OEL does that to perfection. I think that's the best Tyler Myers we've seen so far is with OEL.
Yeah.
So why even split that pairing up? I get that they're trying to find some new combinations because it's not really working right now. But I don't necessarily feel like that D pairing is a problem.
Yeah, to me that's one that works, and Myers could be a big problem for this team. So having one of those problems negated, but because OEL is just a smart player, so like you said, he can read what Myers is going to do, and OEL is a good two-way player where Myers is not. So that balances out.
It's funny because Myers tries to play like a two-way player, but he ends up putting us on a 2-on-1 on the opposite end.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd like to see Ekman Larson with Tyler Myers for the rest of the season. I don't care if we lose the next 5 games. You don't split that pairing up.
Yeah.
You split Bo and frickin' Pearson. That has to go.
So in this game here, the Canucks outshot the Blue Jackets 41-21, and we lost 4-2. So it just even when things are going like this, because the Canucks played good in this game, they played good in all of these games. I would say outside of the second period in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
you just know, I just felt like they're not gonna win this game in Columbus. I just knew after they scored to tie it up late in the second, they're not gonna win.
When it was 2-2, and I started to see how the game was moving, I knew already, and I was like, I could just tell Columbus was starting to catch momentum, and it just wasn't going our way. And it feels like some nights that's just how it's going for us, and we can't bury pucks for some odd reason.
Yeah.
We have all these goal scorers. They're supposed to be scoring goals, but we're not scoring goals. And I feel like it's just a lot of pucks whipped on net for no reason, which sometimes works out to your benefit because you catch a rebound. But I mean, like, there just has to be more effort on where we're placing the puck. Your teammates have to know where you're placing the puck because if you are going to shoot it off the pads, they need to be in position to receive that puck to score a goal. So, I mean, it's just communication. I feel like we're lacking communication somewhere, and we need to get something worked out here.
So, a couple of other things I wanted to address in this one. And again, like going back to it, you just like when when the Canucks are pushing and everything too, like you almost feel like there's gonna be some kind of break for like a 2-on-1 or something like that. And when you see that, there's no like, and not to fault Demco because he's been great, but you just know like this is going in the net some whatever weird way. They're just gonna score. One thing I will say is I like Luke Schen's game a lot in this one.
I loved it. I
Shen
loved to
was
see him
physical,
back.
like very physical, threw a lot of big hits, but in the offensive zone, he was just throwing pucks on net, which like
I love how he slap shots it a lot of the time too. He puts a hard shot on net, so he has a chance for a deflection.
And a couple that I noticed too is like he would just get the puck and shoot it. There wasn't like stick handle it for a little bit, like try and walk the line. You just get it and throw it on net, which I like a lot.
And I feel like that kind of came from his little stint in Tampa. Like, I feel like they told him, like, man, this is the style of play we need you to play. We have guys in front that can tip the puck. And he's just carried that right into coming back to the Canucks.
That is a good point, right?
He's just whipping them on net, and that's what we need him to do.
Because coming from Tampa, right, like, Shen's not the guy you want with the puck. Like, just get it down low to where the forwards are going to be.
But I feel like, we had him before he went to Tampa, and I feel like he wasn't really doing that. And all of a sudden he comes back from Tampa and he's throwing pucks on net. He looks more effective. So they coached him well, obviously.
Tampa's not a bad team.
No.
Another thing, before this game, there was a lot of rumors going around in Vancouver that like Bo Horvat and JT Miller were kind of on two separate sides, right? Like Iron Man and Captain America and the Marvel Avengers movie there.
In which I kind of like, before any of this happened, like last year, I kind of felt like for some weird reason, those two like don't mesh. I don't know why.
Well, before you cut me off so rudely,
I'm sorry.
So they interviewed Bo after the first or second period, I can't remember, and they asked him about this specifically, and they showed highlights of it, and everyone on the team was saying it's like nonsense, and Bo was like joking about it, saying that him and Miller better get on the same page then and stuff, and like I don't think it's true. Like maybe they disagree on stuff, but everybody, it's a team of 23 guys. Nobody's like they're all gonna have disagreements and shit, but I don't feel like there's a big rift where it's like the Horvat half of the room and the Miller half. I think everybody's just frustrated trying to work together, and like you're gonna get mad at each other. Like,
not by any means. Like I feel like JT Miller knows Bo Horvat's the captain. You got to give him his space. You got to let him do his thing. And Bo's super effective at what he does. So is JT Miller. You won't see those two on the same line, and that's for good reason. Both guys can help carry a line, so why put them on the same line? Doesn't make sense. So they don't have to agree on anything.
Yeah, and they are both leaders on the team, just in very different ways. So like
Bo's the quiet guy, Millsy's the chirpy guy.
Stylistically, they definitely clash, but that doesn't say that goes into the dressing room. Like just
for sure
on the ice, they don't lead the same way. But yeah, we went 0-3 this week, so no points made up, falling further and further out of playoff contention, which we shouldn't even be talking about. Like playoffs, Chris. Every time I say playoffs, just beep it out. Because we shouldn't be allowed to talk about it.
It's crazy because sometimes I think like, it could be a St. Louis Blues situation. That was a special year. I feel like I hope we make the playoffs. Trust me, I pray to the frickin' Lord we make the playoffs. But at this point, it's extremely hard to see. One thing I did want to talk about is the fact that we do have 11 new players on this team. That's half the team.
Your point is valid for 10 games. Whatever. This has been 20 games. That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, you need to be on page with everyone by this point.
Like that is 100% the first handful of games. Yes, that's a valid point, but not at this point.
I feel like I'm just looking for excuses.
We all are.
Right? Because it's been such a bad start, and it's like you're just looking at... I'm sure the coaching staff feels so stressed about it because they're looking at every angle, and they're like, why isn't this working? We have the pieces to do something here. But I feel like they haven't explored all their options for the line changes. Like you said, like we haven't seen the Bo Horvat, Podkolzin, and Garland. Like we haven't seen some line combinations. They're so in love with some of the line combinations that they've found over the past 2 years, which I feel like you just scrap all that right now. Like
Yeah.
we're in a complete jumble state. Anyone can go on any line. Who's playing good? You're on the first two lines. That's the bottom line.
It's to the point where like you can just throw names in a hat and
Here you go.
Yeah, this is where you're playing.
Like, let's see PD at center, Bo on one side, and Niels Hoglander on one side. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Then let's put Garland, Podkolzin, and Bo Horvat.
Like, you can't have Bo on two lines.
No, Bo's on line one. Well, let's put Garland and Podkolzin with him. Then let's put PD at center, Brock, and Niels Hoglander.
Okay, so you said Bo instead of Brock.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Fumbled my words.
Yeah.
And then let's see, Dickinson, play your frickin' position. Dickinson at center, Pearson with him, and then put Motter with them. I feel like that's a decent line.
Or like,
because
where's Miller though? You gotta throw him on there maybe.
Millsy, you're almost on the chopping block, bud. We gotta scramble the lines. We haven't seen these types of line combinations. Put Millsy at center on the fourth line at this point. I don't even care anymore. We got to see different stuff.
Yeah, there has like something.
And maybe something. Hey, we put JT Miller on line 4. He's playing their line 4. He's probably going to dice up their line 4 like it's nothing. Score goals. That's what we need. We need 4 lines of scoring. We need it from everyone.
I'm not willing to put Miller on the fourth line, but I understand what you mean. Like it doesn't matter almost who plays with who.
They're so in love with the line combinations. Stop all that.
It's not even like combinations. It's pairing almost, right? Like Bo and Pearson.
2 guys that are glued.
You usually see Connor Garland and Pod, which
I don't want to break that.
No, those guys work. Like leave them together.
That's why I said them with Bo, because Garland and Pods' chem is unreal. They just know where each other are at. They dish each other the puck for perfect 1-2s. Keep them together.
It's weird. It's almost combinations have been a thing in Vancouver. Like I feel like almost since the Sedins and Burrows. Like
because they're tied.
The last time we had like a line, right? Like the Lotto line, yes, for 1 year was good.
Scrap it.
You know what I mean? Like
scrap it.
It hasn't done anything this year.
Scrap it.
So another thing you wanted to talk about was the Canucks pulling their goalie, because every game we are trailing with 5 minutes left and we start pulling the goalie.
And we've proved in every situation, we pull the goalie, we get in their end, we turn it over, they have an easy shot on that, we give up another goal.
Or so many times we can't get set up. We fumble pucks at either blue line and the team breaks it up and then we have to reset. I don't mind pulling the goalie early, but not the way the Canucks do it, where we have control in our end, we're skating up, Thatcher's gone. We need to have possession in the offensive zone, then get Thatcher off the ice, because this team is not reliable getting set up or getting the puck back or breaking out of their zone lots of the times.
Yeah.
So
the sad thing is, I don't even see a shot on net most of the time before we turn it over, and then it's going
almost
the
a
other
guaranteed
way.
empty net goal for the other team.
Which that's so sad. I would rather see Green leave Thatcher, Demco, and not put all your big guns on the ice. Even though it's only 5 guys, I want to see Pods, Garland, Horvat, Miller, Besser. I don't even care if there's no defenseman. Put all your shooters on the ice. Make Miller play D. Make whoever else play D. I don't even care. Probably Petey, because he can launch that puck from the blue line. Just put all your big guns out there and fire pucks on net, boys. We can't take any more goals. It's getting ridiculous. I hate pulling the goalie because I know instantly we're going down another goal and we're out of this game.
I would agree with you that. And, again, it's probably Travis Green trying to save his job. And, like we said last time, I don't think Green is the issue.
I don't, but we're not playing right. Yeah. And obviously he has control of the lines. I don't feel like he's jumbled them enough. So maybe your job is on the line.
His job is definitely on the line.
That's what I mean. We're looking at all options at this point. Green, your job's on the line. He knows that. Jim Benning, can't believe you lasted this long. Your job's definitely on the line.
Honestly, it's outside from a St. Louis run, I can't see Benning being back. Like, there's no way. You can't. It's been 8 years, and it's been horrendous outside. And like the bubble is done
Yep.
in the past. We weren't a playoff team then. We were a bubble team. Like we had to play that opening round to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So like you say that was a normal season, we're probably not making the playoffs because they were on a bad losing streak then.
Which we have 11 new pieces since then. We're far from where we were, and that's not good to see. We have a lot of the core pieces still, which it really makes you appreciate a guy like Beagle. Beagle, he seemed like an element that we could, let's trade him to the Coyotes in a deal. At the end of the day, he was winning faceoffs. He was killing penalties.
And the thing with that, like, Beagle is not a bad player. Benning just paid him way too much, and it made him look like a bad player.
Right?
You can't pay your fourth line center $3.5 million.
If he was on a better contract, I feel like he'd still be playing for this team.
If we had Beagle at like 1.5, I would actually be pretty happy with that.
Pumped.
Yeah, you're not getting any offense out of him, but you're not getting your head caved in on the penalty kill.
I would give Beagle $2 million. You play on the fourth line, you play on the PK, you win faceoffs, you're the man, you kill penalties perfectly. What else could you ask out of a guy for $2 million? I mean, to me, he's worth $2 million all day. At 3, aggressive. That $1 million could go on Pod's contract or whoever else, because Pod's is going to be a pricey player.
Pod's might get paid.
Pod's is getting paid. Niels Höglander getting paid.
Yeah.
He getting paid.
Yeah, it's a good thing we locked up Garland, because he would be getting paid too.
And that, right? But that's an interesting conversation as well, because Arizona didn't even give him a phone call. He was their best forward. Like, is size really that big of a deal to these guys? Like, it's disgusting they didn't even give him a call.
I think in Arizona, it all just comes down to money. They get all those guys from Vancouver on the last year of their deal, right? Yep. So their cap hit is high enough to where they're reaching the cap ceiling, but they're not paying them that much money.
Yeah.
They knew they were going to have to pay Garland. I think that's the biggest thing, right? So.
And we are on a deal for what Garland has done for us so far, and I hope he consistently just makes great plays, great goals, and you might see him on a smidge bigger of a contract in the future.
I don't see, like, we have a couple really good value contracts at this point. Like, obviously, Podkolzin and Höglander being on the rookie deals is great because they're core pieces and top 9 players, if not top 6 players.
Yep.
The Garland deal I really like now.
Perfect.
I had no issues with it either when it was signed. I thought it was pretty fair. Now I feel like it's kind of a value contract.
Yeah.
The Thatcher Demco contract is a steal. It's an absolute steal. To have him at 5 years for 5.5, whatever he makes. So, like, that's insane.
Our biggest contract is Oliver Ekman-Larsson, which he's definitely not worth quite that much money. We've seen the Seth Jones contract, seen how that worked out. I think he's easily in the $7 million range the way he's been playing for us. He's been lights out. It's just, that's another contract that's pretty high, but at the end of the day, he's been good for us.
That one, it kind of looks like what the Canucks maybe thought the Myers contract would be, where you're going to get value out of him up front, and then towards the end, it's not going to look that great, but it's hard to say with him, like, you see, like, a lot of Swedish defensemen for some reason played forever. Like, Edler's still playing.
Yeah, they're durable.
Yeah, and Edler wasn't bad. He's not the top pairing defenseman we were used to seeing him in Vancouver, right? Yeah. And that wasn't his fault because we didn't have the defensive depth, so we're playing him higher up than he should be. Like, if we had Edler on our third pairing at a $2 million, I would kind of have no issues with that. Like,
Myers is over the top at $6 million. I feel like at most he should be paid $3 to $4 million.
Yeah,
that's it. I really hope that in the future we can change that contract, maybe keep him. But I mean, how many more years is on his contract? It's a little while.
This is his 3rd year, and he's got 3 more after this.
Yeah, that's scary. Like, that's a scary contract to be in. I don't feel many other teams are going to be willing to pay him that type of money on a trade. Yeah, it's kind of a scary contract.
Yeah, I don't think Myers is a very movable piece.
No.
He would probably have to retain some salary, and that would definitely be
top. That brings us to our next non-movable piece, which right now is Elias Patterson. We don't want to move him.
I don't think that's a starting point at all.
No, but the way that this season has gone, you have to talk about all options. And right now, he's an immovable piece.
I don't think so. I think every team in the league would see that and be like, we can get him going.
I don't think there's one team right now that would be willing to pay Elias Patterson $7 million for 3 years at the rate he's playing right now. So he's off the table.
That's not what you're trading for, though. You're trading for what you think he can be and what he's proven he can be. Yes, he's on a bad skid, like a slump. But
can be and is a big thing. Look at Seth Jones.
There is not one GM in this league that would not, if you could get Patterson for like
$7 million. That's what he's at.
But to trade for him is what I mean. Like if you could trade for him, there's nobody that wouldn't do it.
You'd have to take on the deal that he has now, and I don't feel like any team would be willing to do it.
Every team would.
I don't think so. Not the way he's played thus far. Look at Seth Jones.
You're not trading for what he is. You're trading for what you know he can be. Like everything is going wrong in Vancouver. You know you're bringing him into a good situation. That's going to be a restart for him the second you get him out of there.
That's why I feel like this team is in a slump. Can be and is, big difference.
There's not one GM that would take it.
We'll see. Everyone's name
is on the chopping block. He's not getting traded. No, I completely disagree with you.
Brock's name is on the chopping block right now. JT Miller's name is on the chopping block right now. Maybe even Bo Horvat. They're looking at all options. Jim Benning even said it in his interview. He's looking at all options. He's talking to agents. He's talking to other teams. I feel like if we can get a good return on any of those players, they're looking at it.
PD is not getting traded. Hughes is not getting traded.
No, Hughes ain't going nowhere.
Their immovable contracts are OEL and Myers. Those guys are just too much term. Miller is easy to trade because he's on a great cap hit. Depending on the team, he's signed for another 100%. Year, so you retain him.
I agree with that.
Bo is easy to trade because he's a good cap hit too. He's not unreasonable.
And Millsy, we can get a great return.
And Bess is easy to trade because his contract's done this year, right? Like you can trade him to a rental at the deadline.
I agree with all of those. It's just the PD one. I don't feel like he's movable, so he's kind of stuck where he is, and I don't feel like we want to get rid of him. I feel like he is going to get rolling. It's just a frustrating position to be in the way that he's played this far.
If PD, I don't understand.
You're wearing the PD jersey. I get it.
It's not because he's even my favorite player. I just any team would trade for him in the league.
But I don't feel like. I feel like right now he can't go anywhere.
I don't agree with that. If I can steal Pedersen out of Vancouver for a first round pick or something and a prospect, I would absolutely.
Which it is a short term deal. Maybe that's why teams are like, okay, we'll take that because we took Myers on a $6 million. So maybe you're right. Maybe I'm looking at it a little messed up. But
your name will get you so far in hockey too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like any sport, right? Like if you've done something, there's always value to your name.
Because
look at the Myers contract, look at the Erickson contract.
Yeah. No, I see where you're coming from. It's just I'm frustrated at this point.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking at everything. There's a lot of pieces to this team. We have great snipers. It's just we're not sniping. So
everything we have on this roster right now makes zero sense why it is playing the way it is. Maybe we're not a juggernaut, but
we have all the pieces.
We should be a competitive team.
Yeah.
We should be not losing by so many goals every night and for a long stretch looking like we're an AHL team.
Yeah. Which I'm glad that there was this type of discussion on the pod because it's opening up everyone else's mind to the fact that we need some change on this team.
Yes.
And we need to get rolling. Whatever it takes to get there, we're willing to do at this point.
See, another thing I'm not trying to make me sound smarter than you. I see what you mean, but you wouldn't trade PD right now either, right? Because his value is as low as it has ever been.
Get a great return.
I mean, I think you could, but you couldn't. If we traded him during his rookie season or something like that, you would definitely get something much better. So I understand what you mean.
Yeah, sniping bar down everywhere, and they're like, okay, we can negotiate this kid's deal. Totally different scenario, though. Now he's on a pretty good money contract, and he's not playing great. So that's why it makes it.
He's playing good.
That's the thing, right? So he's not playing to his potential. He's on a pretty big money deal. It's not outrageous. I think he's playing for what he's worth. I'm glad he only took a 3-year deal. It's just in his case, he has to really prove why he's making that money, and he's not doing it this season.
Yeah.
Not this far. It's really early in the season. I know we're getting bent out of shape really early. It's just we have
not
not
even
looked
really
good.
early, right? Like it's basically
We're
a
like
quarter done.
Yeah,
20 our 20th game was last.
Yeah.
It might have been our 21st even. Like
yeah, so we're getting there.
it's the season's a quarter over,
Yeah.
right? Like
We got to find it.
I don't know if it's there to be found.
And that's the funny thing. Before the pod even started, I said to Justin, like, we have 11 new pieces to this team, blah, blah, blah. And he said, doesn't matter if there's 11 pieces. We're a quarter way into the season. We should have Ken by now, and that's 100% accurate. These are the best players in the world. You guys should be finding each other by now out there. And it's kind of ridiculous that it's gone the way it has.
Yeah. It just... And you know what? Like, going back to, like, before we were doing this, like, when talking about it, we were like, this is going to be so much fun. I texted you during the Pittsburgh game. I was like, I don't know why.
This isn't fun
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't know why we're watching this. I'm not looking forward to the game on Friday. I look forward to this to get to talk, and it's nice to, like, vent a little bit. But, like, usually I have so many things to go over, like, outside of the games on our list here.
Show them the notes.
I had, when Wes came over, I had 2 lines. I had, we'll talk about the games, and then I'm going to talk about how something needs to change. That's all I had, because there's just nothing fun.
As I crack a beer to that.
Nothing fun.
That's pure depression. There is nothing fun about the way we've been playing, and honestly, the biggest jobs on the line right now, Travis Green and Jim Benning. It sucks to keep repeating that because I love Travis Green. It's just we need a shake-up.
Yeah.
I feel like if a new coach comes in, he won't be in love with some of the line combinations. He won't give a shit about those line combinations, and he will be willing to mix it up. The best people out there right now are getting the ice time. Travis Green says he does that. Well, then why is Tanner Pearson still on Bo Horvath's line?
Yeah.
What has he done this season? Almost nothing.
Hit a couple posts, fan on a couple shots.
And scored like 1 goal. You lose every board battle. He's still a good player, don't get me wrong. It's just frustrating as hell. Why is that a solid pairing?
And playing him with Bo puts him not in a position to succeed because he is playing out of his realm a little bit.
Yeah.
I have all day for Pearson on a third line. I think that's where he is.
All day for that.
Bo is always our first or second line guy, and then that's just too steep for Pearson right now. Like, he can definitely be a very effective player, just not where we're asking him to play. It's like Edler, right? Like, be a top pairing defenseman when you're 35.
Yeah.
Shut down Shut down McDavid. Shut down this 23-year-old Connor McDavid.
No, you don't got the speed to do it.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Big sigh. Big sigh. A head itch.
You know what? Like, we play Boston tomorrow, Sunday night, and like
that's gonna be a tough one.
If we get blown out by Boston, like I don't know, man. Like, I might watch a period of this game.
Yeah.
Just,
you can tell, like, by the second period of the Columbus game, I was mentally checked out. Like, even when it was 2-2, you could see the way the game was starting to go, and I was like, this isn't going to go well for us. The Pittsburgh game, second period, I'm checked out. Like, it's just not fun to watch.
Yeah, and, like, you can look at stats at the end of the game, and like we said before, they're not winning. That's the only stat that matters. Like, I don't care if this team gets outshot, like we were in the bubble year by like 40 shots. We were winning games at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just... Yeah, not like... Normally, I'm looking at the schedule like a couple times a week, being like, oh, okay, I can't wait for this game.
Excited.
I get to Thursday and there's a game tonight. Like, I don't care.
No.
Like, I'm going to watch the games, but I'm not sitting here being like, man, I can't wait for tomorrow night to watch the game.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit down for 2.5, 3 hours and watch them struggle.
Yeah. Like, last year and the year before, it was so easy to flick a Canucks game on because it's like, we're going to see Petey snipe bar down. We're going to see Brock Besser ripping pucks on net. Like, it was just exciting. Yeah. Now, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and it sucks to discredit someone because, like, Podkolzin and Garland are fun to watch. Hoglander's fun to watch, but it just... You need more, right? Like, you watch... No offense to those guys, but you watch for Petey and Brock and Miller and
Yeah.
Bo and Quinn, and none of those guys are doing what they should be.
Miller, I feel like he has the tenacity every night. Like you see him,
Yeah.
especially on the blue line, he's making massive hits. Like
you know what? That's a fair point. I don't think Miller's been off. He just has no sport.
For sure. And like there's some guys though, I'm watching them and I'm like, where's the tenacity in your game tonight?
Yep.
Sometimes it's Best, sometimes it's Petey.
A lot of times it's Petey. Petey is starting to frustrate me in the boards, like corner battles.
Just
like
the energy behind your play isn't there.
The empty netter that Pittsburgh scored, I believe he was chasing, or no, it wasn't Pittsburgh, it was Columbus. Max Domi, he was in a foot race with him. I felt like Petey kind of gave up towards the end. I felt like there was more hustle there, and he was just like, whatever.
And that's the thing. I feel like sometimes when you have so much success early in your career, you almost feel like, it's coming easy to me. Oh, I don't have to work that hard anymore. No, you have to work your ass off, shift to shift, night to night. It's a grind. It's a battle. You see Garland do it. You see Pods doing it. You see Niels Höglander doing it. That's the type of tenacity you have to carry in your game night to night to win NHL games.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that hunger, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you can ride the bench for a couple nights.
You're going to be Louis Eriksson in a minute.
And, that's another thing we should say too. Like Connor Garland was an undrafted player too, right? So to see him
grind his way up,
that should be like pretty motivational for the guys, right? Same thing with Alex Burrows, right? Alex Burrows was drafted.
Grind
The guy scored 30 goals
Yeah.
so many years, or 25 goals with the teams. Was a first line player. Like you can get to like the heights of the league if you have that effort and that drive.
I don't want to not talk about Canucks, but Giordano.
Yeah.
Like another guy that just grinded his ass off until he got to the league and then made the most of it once
won
he
a
got
Norris. There. Like, had great seasons. But just it's hard seeing no motivation in a lot of the players.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Because the effort that they can put up. So when you see the hunger not there, it's like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know if they all need a sports psychologist. They're probably working that angle with the team right now. It's a great idea. You need the guys working with the sports psychologist right now. We need the hunger back.
Yep.
We need the tenacity back. Just the board battles, the grit, the hits. We need it all right now. And if you're not trying, you're not winning. Simple as that.
Yeah. And it almost feels like you want the whole team to be pulling forward together, right? And it feels like maybe everybody is, but we're kind of going like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like that.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. And like you can tell, right? We started a podcast about the Canucks. We're wearing Canucks logo and all this shit around us. Like this team means stuff to us. Like it's not just as weird as it sounds, because sports are almost just what you put into it, right? But this means a lot to both of us, and it's like it sucks just to watch 20 games of like nothing and just have a handful of wins and like some that you didn't deserve, and just a tough time to be a Canucks fan.
It is. It's an extremely tough time to be a Canucks fan. There was a guy who came into my work. He had the Canucks mask on. He had the Canucks hat on, had a Canucks logo on the window. And I just kept it light with him. I was like, hey, man, tough year to be a Canucks fan. Hey, hopefully we get some wins soon. He was like, yeah, man, hopefully we get some wins soon. But, that's the general public's idea of the Canucks right now. It's like, I really hope we can turn it around. We have the pieces. Just we need more tenacity. We need more hunger to win these games.
Some effort.
Yeah, and we can win these games.
Show me that you give a fuck about winning.
Yeah, and it's like, I bet Petey feels like every night he's giving his effort. He's doing what he can. But that's why you need to see the sports psychologist. That's why you need to practice your game even off the ice. I feel like the mentality right now is like when you're off the ice, you should be resting your mind because you don't want to get burnt out and this and that. And that's good. Like sometimes, you can get burnt
out. That's what summers
out.
are for.
But that's why, Michael Jordan, the Wayne Gretzky, Connor McDavid. That's why these guys are the best in the world. When it's fucking time to play, these guys are training nonstop. They're going all out for hockey. They don't take 1 minute off. It's a grind. That, like Justin just said, that's what summer's for. Play with your dogs in the summer. Do this and that in the summer. All season long, I want to see you working on your game.
Yeah.
you need to be in tip-top shape. You need to be ready to go. We need more out of this team.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. It would be nice just to see a good playoff run, or even just win 2 games in a row, win 3 games in a row. Like,
go on a streak.
You know what I mean? Like
3-4 games in a row, we're cheering. We're your biggest fans. We're fucking screaming at the rooftops when you guys win some games. Just please string together some wins. Like, you got the Ducks going on a freaking 7-8 game win streak.
Yeah.
Like, this was a team that, like, I heard all the broadcasters, all the podcasts, they were chirping this team left to right. Same with the LA Kings. They didn't think they were going to be anywhere this season. Trevor Zegras, Troy Terry, like, these are the types of guys that are stepping up and making this team work. So let's get our guys going. I know Podkolzin, Niels Höglander, Connor Garland, they're trying their best. We need our other guys to step up too. We need everyone.
Yeah. And it's like neither of us want to sit here and be like, this isn't fun, right? Like, we want to be positive. We want to be like, oh yeah, like Horvat had such a good game. Did you see the goal Petey scored? Like,
Yeah.
And there's just none of it.
No.
It's just like, this is all we can give you, and it's not fun. Like, because nobody wants to sit here and watch us be like, fuck this team, this guy sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
For real.
I want to be like excited. I want to feel like I can't wait for tomorrow to watch a game against the Bruins. Like, I was around in 2011. I fucking hate the Bruins. I really hope this team beats the Bruins, and it's gonna crush me if I see them lose to the Bruins, because that's the last thing I want to see right now.
I can't remember if it was last year or the year before where we kicked the Bruins' ass.
It was the year before.
9-3. Yeah, it was 9-3.
Yeah, man. Like,
blowout.
I'm not a big like Facebook guy, but I was on Facebook being like, I want 10 goals.
Yeah.
I was like,
9 goals.
Yeah. I was like, 7-3, give me 8. 8-3, give me 9. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff you want to see and get excited about.
And Bo Horvat had the Gordie Howe hat trick in that one. 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 scrap. Split the guy open. Like, you love to see that type of Canucks.
That's the intensity you want. And like, you don't have to go out and blow teams out 9 or whatever it was, but be competitive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Anyway, let's go over our score predictions for this week.
We got 3 games.
My phone ain't working, so I can't see them, so you're going to have to read them out to me, and then we'll go with it.
Yeah, so you can kick it off. We are in Boston tomorrow.
Honestly, I feel like Boston's a team that they kind of have their core pieces. They got the Marchand, they got Bergeron, they got Pasternak. Those guys are always rolling. I feel like we're taking an L on this one, which is sad to say. I feel like we're taking another L. I feel like we could score 2 goals in this game, but I feel like it's going to be at least 3-2, 4-2 for the Boston Bruins.
We talked about this before the podcast too, and like,
how do you give them a win?
Yeah, we're on the same page with this, but I can't, like, as bad as it gets for the Canucks, I'm not saying the Bruins are winning this. The Canucks are winning this game 4-3.
Let's go. I hope they do. And that's the thing. Right now, on the road, for some reason, it's such a struggle for us. Like, can you guys not fly on a plane and fucking win a hockey game?
It would be nice.
Once you're off the plane, get on the goddamn bike for an hour and sweat that shit off. I don't care what it takes. Get your legs moving on the road.
And, like, just for the record, I kind of think Boston's going to win, but I can't. Officially, I cannot. I can't.
Let's go with the win. I love it.
So we got Montreal Monday night. You're in Montreal. What, 7-0 for Tyler Toffoli?
Montreal's kind of in a shaky state right now, too, though. They're under us in the rankings. We're only like 5th last in the league. I thought when I looked at the standings, I thought we were going to be dead last.
No, thank God for Arizona.
That's the thing. I've been watching every game, and I feel like just because we have so much potential, I thought we're bottom of the league, hands down. No, there's plenty of teams doing worse than us, but it's sad. Go with your prediction first. I'll go with mine.
I'm going 4-2 Montreal.
I'm not mad at that. I see Tyler Toffoli always has a monster game against us. He's unreal.
This is a get-right game for Tyler Toffoli.
Honestly, I think you put Halak in net for this game. Thatcher Demco and
Yeah,
Tyler
maybe try and
Toffoli.
switch it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
they've practiced together. I
Yeah.
feel like Tyler Toffoli knows some holes. Maybe he doesn't know those holes on Halak, so maybe you go with Halak on that one. I see us catching a dub in this one. I'll go 3-2. It's going to be a tight game, 100%.
Right, then we are in Ottawa on Wednesday
Oh,
against the Senators.
I hope this is an ass kicking. Brady Tkachuk, off with your head. When I said this about Winnipeg, what happened? It was off with
And
your
Nate
head.
Schmidt had a bad game.
That's what I'm saying. It's off with your head, Brady Tkachuk. Ottawa, get out of here. You're not as good as us. We're going 4-1 for the Vancouver Canucks, and that was generous score.
3-2 Ottawa.
Whew. And that's the thing. That's kind of the theme of this season.
Yeah.
Could happen.
And so it's something we're going to start doing next week that was brought to us by Wes's mom. We'll go over our score predictions and see if we were right or
how
even close or how bad the Canucks lost next week.
We'll go over that at the start of the videos.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how we end the videos. That's how we start the videos. It's kind of just
meets
up. Yeah.
So we should go over our Canucks of the week, which fuck.
How do
who
you
showed
find
up to
one?
a game this week, man?
Yeah. So I'll give mine first.
Right.
Just because I haven't gave it to you yet, you've played great for us all season. You're patient with the puck. You make nice passes. You make the right play. You've had good shots on net. They're not just worthless shots on net. It's Vasily Podkolzin. And that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I'm torn between two Canucks, and one of the options is really sad that it's this far. I'm going like half and half between Luke Shen and Podkolzin.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
Shen had an assist. I liked his game against Columbus.
Yep. And before he took that little injury, he's been great.
He was decent.
I'd like to see him in the lineup every night as long as he's healthy.
I didn't think it would be to a point where Luke Shen was going to be my Canuck of the week.
But I love Luke Shen.
I'm going with Luke Shen.
Boy.
Luke Shen is my Canuck of the week.
Yeah.
The rest of the team,
yeah.
Wake the fuck up.
Please.
Luke Shen can never be my Canuck of the week again.
And just so you know, he said to me before this pod started, he thought he was going to throw up Thatcher Demco just because he felt a little bad for him. Because he has played good and the team hasn't supported him.
Yeah.
But you see how, that can happen. Luke Shen's been good.
We talk about this too, right? Like how we always say like Höglander's been our most consistent player or something like that. It's actually been Thatcher Demko.
100%.
We should as much as we give him credit, we should give him more because he deserves it. Thatcher's been our most consistent player by far.
He's got the save of the year. Come on now.
Yeah, and without him, we would be losing games like 9-1.
Yeah. I believe that.
So we'll get to my tweet of the week here too before we sign off. So Adam Gaudette was placed on waivers. Elliot Friedman tweeted that out, and this was a reply to him by Taj at Taj1944. Canucks should claim him for the chaos.
I love Gods. Different Sully every goal. He could add some fire to this team. And then you have another guy where, hey, you're not playing so good. We're sending you down. And that really motivates guys. You know what I mean? So it just adds more competition. Yeah. We need that inside competition, inside the team to really fire guys up and make you work hard. We know Adam Gaudette can score some goals. And it's exciting as hell when he does.
From going in his net, though.
But I just feel like it adds more internal competition. That's what we need.
So I'm sorry to kind of burst your bubble here, Wes, but he was claimed by Ottawa. So we might see him Wednesday.
I would love to see that because I feel like put him on the ice, we're going to destroy them anyway.
Yeah, did you see, speaking of this, Zach McEwen leveled him.
Did he?
The Flyers played the Blackhawks.
I didn't see that.
Destroyed him. I'll show you it after the show. Go look it up because Zach fucking killed him.
And I thought it was funny. I actually
Two former linemates.
I've seen Flyers highlight on YouTube, and Zach McEwen was the thumbnail.
He's been good for the Flyers.
And I thought, God damn, I'm happy that Zach McEwen went to that team because I feel like we didn't appreciate him enough. He definitely lays it all on the line, but he definitely lost that goal scoring touch that he had.
Some of his edge.
Yeah, so I feel like that trade definitely helped him out and helped him elevate his game, and he's happy to be on the Flyers.
Yeah, so that'll do it for this week. Hopefully next week we have a lot more fun things and positive things to talk about. Please, Lord Jesus, give me a Canucks win tomorrow against the Bruins. That's all I ask for. If there's anything for Christmas, please give me this W. Please.
I hear that.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on Spotify, YouTube, Apple. Subscribe, comment, rate, all the dumb YouTube shit that I hate talking about. Do that, please. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Another good one in the bag.
Yeah.
That was sad.
I got depressed.
We got depressed at the end.